Have you ever thought to yourself in the morning, man, I am starving, but you don't feel like going to McDonald's or some other fast food chain to get your food? That is why today I'm going to teach you how to make an omelet. Now, why an omelet? Because it is customizable and you can put whatever you want on it. So without further ado, let's go over the materials you will need to make an omelet. You will need a stove, a skillet, a whisk, a spatula, a mixing bowl, some eggs, 1/4 cup of milk, some butter, and your choice of meat and cheese. Firstly, you want to take at least 3 eggs, and if you want to make a bigger omelet, you can do 4 or 5. But I'm not that hungry, so I'm gonna make 3. So you take 3 eggs, put it in the bowl, like so. Yolk and everything with it. And then, once you're gotten that done, you put a 1/4 cup of milk in there, just to make it a little bit creamier and make it easier to cook. And then you take your whisk and then you stir it until it all mixes together. And I'll show you what it looks like once it's done. The next step is to put the stove onto medium-low heat, and then you put some butter on the skillet to make sure the omelet doesn't stick. Make sure to spread it evenly all across the skillet so that it covers every part of it. When you're done mixing your eggs, they should look something like this. And then you pour them right into the skillet. And now you wait for the edges to cook, and then I'll show you what to do after that point. While you're cooking the omelet, you'll probably see some air bubbles. And don't worry about those. All you need to do is just poke it and they'll go away. And if there's just a couple, that's okay too. And now, since edges are pretty much cooked, you will need to separate it from the sides of the pan to make sure flipping it and doing what I'm about to do is a lot easier. Now, after you do that, you stick your spatula under it like this, and then you move it so that the liquid on the inside can go on the outside to make sure that all of it's cooked. And repeat this until all of the gooey stuff in the middle is cooked. Once you got all the gooey stuff in the middle, you will need to flip the omelet. Now this is a little tricky. You got to make sure that nothing is sticking and you got all of it. So what I personally do is just go for it like that. Not perfect, but it doesn't really need to be perfect. It just needs to be to where you can flip it on one side like that. Now comes the point where you add your ingredients. I chose feta cheese and bacon bits because that's my favorite thing to put on my omelet. So you will put these all on one side, like so. You make sure you get it as much as you want on there. There's no specific amount that you need or anything like that. This is just your own personal preference. Once you got all your ingredients on the omelet, it's time to flip it on itself, like this. And now you're almost done. So once you do that, you can either choose to flip it again, or you can just leave it like this, depending on how cooked you want your omelet to be. I like my omelet how it is right now, so I think it's time to go ahead and put it on the plate. Did you see how simple that was? All you had to do was mix the eggs with the milk, put it in the skillet, and then get all the gooey stuff from the middle on the edges, flip it over, put your ingredients in, flip it over again. And now you have a very delicious breakfast item that will solve your hunger. Cheers.